11 countries of the world where women are in high demand. Demography, the study of populations, is a perplexing thing. In one country, women greatly outnumber men. In others, it's the other way around. The balance is shifted by migrants, housing crisis, and even a culture's mentality. Statistics show that there are 60 million more men than women living on our planet. But in this video, you'll find a list of countries where it's the female population that greatly lags behind that of the male one. Some of them might shock you. If anything on this list manages to surprise you, give us a like. Number 11. Norway. In Norway, there are 12,000 more men than women. Although, historically, the number of ladies always prevailed in this northern country, the tables were turned in 2011. Since then, the number of men has remained higher, 105 guys to 100 gals here. And it's not yet clear how to close this gender gap. Number 10. Iceland. Not as many Icelanders emigrate abroad nowadays compared to the past, but those who do are mostly men. Even so, the number of males still significantly trumps that of the females. In Iceland, there are on average 104 men for every 100 women. There were even rumors that the Icelandic government was ready to pay foreign beauties to come to this country and marry Icelandic men. But this accusation was quickly denied. Still, any ladies out there thinking about taking them up on their offer? Number 9. Canada. In Canada, the difference in the number of men versus women is even bigger. There are 250,000 more guys than girls. This has to do with the fact that women there often move to other countries for work and don't come back to their homeland. Even some cities are more densely male-populated than others. Most often it happens when a place houses a military base, prison, or some sports facility, like a ski resort. So these cities are basically giant man caves? But cities inhabited by a lot of seniors tend to have more women since their life expectancy in Canada is much longer than that of men. For example, the 2016 census showed a ratio of 54 men to 100 women for those aged from 85 to 99. Number 8. Cyprus. Legend has it that Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love, was born in Cyprus. Despite this interesting tidbit, women are still the minority here. There are 104 men to 100 women on this friendly, warm island. And even though there are a lot of female immigrants arriving each year, there's still a shortage of women in Cyprus. Are you in need of some sunshine and a strong man? Time to consider this country. Number 7. China. Would you have guessed that there are 34 million more men than women in this eastern country? A lot of people put the reason for this down to the government's former one-child policy, and stemming from that, sex-selective abortions and abandoned baby girls. Parents preferred to have a son who would be able to take care of the family versus a daughter who'd marry off and join another. The Chinese are allowed to have 2 kids nowadays, but the damage has already been done. So, to every 100 baby girls born, there are 116 boys. This huge gender difference is the most alarming in the world, and although the situation is getting better, the gap is still noteworthy. Number 6. Finland. Each year, Finland hosts the Wife-Carrying World Championship. Yup, it's a real thing. Look it up. As you can understand from the name, husbands carry their better halves through an obstacle course. The fastest man gets as much beer as his wife weighs. Seems to us the heavier the wife, the better. However, in this creative country, 256,000 men aged from 25 to 54 have a harder time finding a lovely lady. Anybody willing to help out these poor guys? Number 5. Italy. Until the 1980s and 90s, women tended to stay at home cooking, cleaning, and looking after the children. This might be the reason for mammismo, a very strong connection between Italian women and their sons and the tendency of men to live with their parents until they reach their mid-30s. Could you live with your parents for that long? But nowadays, Italian women rarely see themselves as housewives and are more focused on building a career, if not in Italy, then abroad. That's why young ladies often move to other countries to work or study, leaving gorgeous Italian guys to live the single life. Ladies, if we haven't convinced you to pack your bags yet, then surely this will do it. Number 4. Sweden. The second Scandinavian country on our list, Swedish men now outnumber their female counterparts for the first time since 1749, the time when the first census was collected. Women used to be in the majority here until recently. It may seem baffling until you find out that the excess of men is due to a large influx of male refugees coming into the country. At the moment, there are almost 15,000 fewer women than men in Sweden. Number 3. India. In India, there are 110 men for every 100 women under the age of 24. In January 2017, there were 44 million more males than females. You heard us right, 44 million. This gap has recently started to narrow, but it's still jaw-dropping. A 2011 study published in the Canadian Medical Association Journal revealed that the reason for such a dramatic ratio was easy, though often illegal, access Indians had to sex-selective abortion, resembling what used to be in China. Sons are considered more financially desirable than daughters. Are they regretting it now with such a lack of stunning Indian beauties? Number 2. Switzerland. The Swiss are the happiest nation in the world, perhaps because they eat much more chocolate in comparison with other nations. Chocoholics unite. But can you imagine that this prosperous country legalized women's voting only in 1971? For comparison, the first country to do it was New Zealand in 1893, and the United States passed it in 1920. Even more surprising, on questions of gender equality, the Swiss lag behind most of the countries of Western Europe. You would think that this nation would respect their ladies' equal rights. After all, for 105 males, there are only 100 females. Number 1. England. While there are more girls than boys born in England, the inhabitants there face another problem. Here, the equal rights mentality is a bit more developed than in Switzerland. There's no stereotype that a woman should earn less money than a man. Therefore, young ladies here have great careers and go abroad to develop their skills even more. As a result, these brainy English babes have left the men to fend for themselves at home. So, where would you go to save the lonely hearts of handsome guys? Reveal this secret in the comments below. Share this video with your friends, and who knows, you or someone you know might be booking their flight tomorrow. By the way, if this video gets 10,000 likes, we'll tell you about the most romantic nations in the world. To stay tuned and keep track of all the useful and interesting videos we have, remember to subscribe to our channel. This way, you'll always stay on the bright side of life.